Can you hear me?
Hi, Nora. Yes, can hear you.
Okay, very good.
You just give a few more minutes. I will do the opening, then you can start. Yeah, I think
Sure,
we give
will do.
about 2 to 3 minutes for staff to come in.
Sure.
Thank you.
People.
Good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for coming to this series that we are sharing best practices on enhancing student experience forum. And today we are running the session 3 on the topic of enhancing services and pastoral care effort in improving flow-through rate. Yeah, very appreciate that Nora has agreed to be the speaker for these sessions. Why are we choosing this topic for today's session is, as most of us know, that we run foundation programs, diploma programs, certificate, A-levels, all these programs before the degree program. And we also run postgraduate programs now. So we are basically higher education institutions that offer the full suites of programs for the student of all levels. And we have been having a lot of students that come through to us to do their foundations, A-levels, or diploma, and then later on decided to stay back with us. And that is what we call a flow through. All this while, we have been having around 30% of our student number. Every year, when there is a student enrollment, at least 30% of them are contributed by our own flow through student. And that also means the viability and sustainability of our business do rely on the flow through students number. So who play a role in making sure that our students will want to flow through with us? And I would say that every one of us that is here every one of us, not just the academic staff, but everyone at this institution play a role to provide the best experience for the student when they are studying the lower levels of program with us, and make a decisions to say that, yes, I want to continue my study with UW Malaysia KDU, or I should move on to other institutions. And that's why today I'm very glad here having Nora to share with us what SOB do in enhancing their services to improve their flow-through rate. She's going to share some best practices, a lot of interesting informations, and I think it's good for us to listen and to see, because making sure students flow through with us, it must be a collaborative effort that every one of us must put in so that we can provide the best experience for the student, and therefore they will decide to flow through with us. Yeah. So thank you very much for coming this afternoon. And now, Nora, over to you.
Thank you. Is the one the right one?
Yep, you can click at the slide mode.
Yep. Okay. Hi everyone. You saw my name is very long, right? Nora Aswana, but people call me Nora for short, easier. Okay. I'm quite privileged to be invited to talk about enhancing services and pastoral care efforts in improving flow-through rate. So what I'm going to do for today is, first and foremost, I'll talk about pastoral care and give you some examples of pastoral care in some of the institutions. And then I will share with you what SOB has been doing to improve our flow-through rates. And there are a few things that we have done over the years, and I would like to share with you. Not only that, I would like you to, I've interviewed some students to tell you exactly what they feel about this pastoral care thing, and also lecturers. And not forgetting, we are not only just the only medium that handles pastoral care, it is the whole university need to put their efforts in ensuring that the flow-through rates is sustained, and our services need to be highlighted. So that's what I'm going to do after this. I'm acknowledging them and the job that they have been doing. All right, so I hope you enjoy this talk. Right, when we talk about pastoral care, we are talking about students' well-being. Yeah, it is influenced by a range of factors, and it includes their subjective feelings as well as their social, physical, and psychological aspects. So this is where schools, and of course universities are considered schools, are key places for their general well-being. Academic success has a strong positive impact on the students' subjective sense of how good they feel about themselves and what happens to them when they go into adulthood. So if we nurture this health, the hope and skills of young people, their potential to improve the world is unbounded, because if they're healthy, they can take the best advantage to learn, and when they are educated, they can live fulfilled lives and contribute to building the future for everyone. So our contribution here is great, yeah, if we are able to ensure that we put our efforts into this caring about the well-being of our students. So when we talk about pastoral care can also be termed as in two different things. One is the pastoral care from the religious point of view, but we are talking about pastoral care in schools or in institutions. So when we talk about it, it is somewhat a planned, multifaceted, whole school approach to incorporate effective ways of caring for all students in a school setting. So it is not just one party being responsible for it. It is a holistic development, yeah, where welfare, well-being, and development of students and young people will be optimally supported. So let's see some examples of how this pastoral care is being carried out by some institutions. According to the Department of Education and Training, how they have classified pastoral care is into 3 different levels: the school, the principal, and the teachers. All right, so I think it's also relevant for us. So just to see the meaning of it. So the school relates pastoral care as building relationships with students and creating a supportive environment by getting to know students and relationships with students and promoting values such as respect, honesty, and compassion throughout the school. And when we talk about that, the principals, on the other hand, look into pastoral care as any school activity that is aimed to solve student problems and issues, especially where that is related to social and emotional well-being rather than academic needs. So now we talk about how the teachers feel about pastoral care. Is where academic interventions, they think about that as academic interventions as part of pastoral care, and the school's responsiveness to any decline in student performance as an example of effective pastoral care. So we can see that pastoral care is being handled in different categories of people in each institution. I've also browsed in the website to look into other universities. They define pastoral care into people who are responsible to give advice to students. For example, in University of Manchester, they divided it among academic advisors, residential life advisors, counseling, and they have also got one section for especially for international students. As you know that they are away from family, etc., they might need extra help. The University of Canterbury, on the other hand, also similarly, they have got academic advisors in terms of hall staff and residential assistants. They've got induction and orientation, community building, UC support services, health and well-being, academic support, as well as quality assurance and code of compliance. So all these are what they have termed as sections in their pastoral care that they feel important. So you see, this pastoral care is defined in different manner by different institutions as what.
Sorry, Nora, you have muted yourself.
Can you hear now?
Yes, yeah.
Just now, can you all hear me?
I think after you finish the University of Canterbury, then you certainly muted yourself. So
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay. I won't hold the thing. All right, I continue. Under United World College, they have put in the well-being of students into many different categories, but they also have one section under pastoral care, whereby they have it under student council, well-being staff, wellness coordinator, and peer listeners. So these are some of the examples of what the institutions out there are doing on improving pastoral care. So now I'm going to bring you to the efforts that we are doing through pastoral care to improve our flow-through rates. So how were we doing it from the School of Business? I'm sure that some of these things you also have done, but nevertheless, I just would like to share it with you. And these are things that I really interviewed them, and they really gave me their 2 cents worth of what they feel about those things. So we have the flow-through briefing that we usually give to students. And that is a whole bunch of them coming into a room or into a particular event that we have organized. It's not only that, we also go through one by one, all right, meaning that we will follow up after that. We won't just see them and then, let them come, leave them alone. After that, we'll go through one by one. Okay, besides that, we have our town hall that we do every semester. We have student activities that constantly, create the buzz in our department. Nevertheless, we have our star lecturers who will be the people who will be in the classroom to actually start the talking to students about furthering their studies. I'll go through with it one by one now. Is there any problem there? No? Okay. Right, the flow-through briefing, the one that I'm showing you now is an online flow-through briefing. It is conducted, I think this one is conducted in the January 2022 semester. You can see about 27 students attended. And Mr. Lau is one of the people who will start it off. And he will somehow ask questions to the student, what are you going to do after this? And tell them what is out there, and also to tell them the comparisons, and also to ask them to think about their future. So this is one of the examples. So after that, we have the program leaders, to brief on each of the particular program. We won't waste so much time on it because later on, if the student have got more detailed questions, they can meet them separately. So I just would like to show you one video that was effectively done for students to see that our business school is up to date, yeah, with what we're doing in terms of delivering content. Can you?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a quick chat on what is called the paradigm shift in the world of business. A few days ago, I was talking with my niece and I asked her, what do you think a camera is? And then she took out her little handphone. She pointed over here and she said, this part is the camera. Now, the older generations will disagree. They believe that the camera is a little rectangle thing they take out, put on your face, and you go click, 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 click. A change in the technology before and now. What about fast food restaurants? COVID, before, after, okay? Before this, fast food restaurants, they had dine-in, they had drive-through, they had takeaway. COVID came, the restaurants had to change, and right now, example, the one you see behind me, Taco Bell, they changed their restaurants to focus more on the drive-through. Less space for the dine-in, more space for the drive-through. The food from the top comes down and the car goes away. A change in how we're going to get our fast food, how are we going to consume our fast food. So with all this change in technology and services, our UOWKDU lecturers can provide you what are the knowledge and their experience from the past so that you guys can link it to what's happening now and prepare yourself for the future. Thank you very much for listening to the Paradigm Shift in the World of Business. Please subscribe to our social media channels. Thank you very much and take care.
Okay, that was our program leader, Mr. Adrian Wong. Yeah, and that was the kind of video that will actually tell the student about what is actually happening. So after we have seen them as a group, we will then follow up one by one, yeah, to talk to them and to find out from them, what is their interest, and also in terms of some of the questions that we ask, what is their study plan, for example, and how long is the study going to take, and any other things that they are concerned with. And basically, our program leaders will be there for them in terms of even seeing them online to that extent for all the different programs when they come through. For example, if they have coming from foundation, we will be contacted by the foundation side. And if it is diploma, and if it's going to degree to masters, yeah, we all will have our people ready to brief them in any way. All right, the other thing that we usually do as one of our event is our SOB Town Hall, which is done usually in week 7 or week 8. And in our SOB Town Hall, we usually will talk to the students. All the students are invited to attend. And we will tell them first about the latest news or any regulation that is new or things to remind them at first. And then after that, we will invite speakers to speak. So in the past, we have got speakers to talk about current issues like digital currency. We also got issues like the students' health and nutrition. Yeah, our latest speaker was Professor Dr. Abdullalin, who talks about university versus industry needs, how do you fit in. Besides that, we also have students coming in sharing on their experiences of entrepreneurial mindset. Yeah, and we have also got our student coming in to tell us about what he has done in his entrepreneurial experience. So these are some of the things that we do at the town hall. Besides that, we have, during the town hall, we also distribute the Dean's List. That means those who got more than 3.75 Dean's List, to acknowledge them, to take pictures, to give them some form of motivation, and their friends will be hoo-ah, at the in the hall, to give them a lot of they're being very proud of themselves to receive this. So during that time, this is where we have our Dean's List recipients to be announced for all the diploma and degree levels. Okay, I think I've done this. More efforts, all right. So one of the things that we really were doing was that our lecturers, those who are really you know, they are the influencers, we call them influencers, okay? So they can go into the last few semesters. They are teaching the students those subjects, and at the same time, what they do is to stress on the importance of furthering their studies. And we also link it to employment and future aspirations. So this is where you find that it is important for us to show that we have capable academics who will be also continuing at the degree level, and who the students can trust later on when they go into the next level of study. So that is one of the reasons why students want to carry on, because of the familiarity of someone taking care of them and knowing that this person knows them. Those are the things that make them feel confident, yeah, to continue in the same institution. So our HOS will usually give us the rate, you know, how we are doing and how many students intend to flow through. So this is where we will, you know, step up actions and to know whether what needs to be done to, you know, talk to the students or to see anything that we have to attend to. All right, so besides that, all our student activities are those that, you know, students welcome them. Yeah, they don't really want an everyday just lessons. So you find that we have organized in the past visits to the Port Klang. We've got Leo Burnett, and also on DG aspects. Yeah, so students, just to show you some pictures of you know, what we are creating in the classrooms, and making sure that students do feel a sense of belonging, and that they enjoy the bonding and the companionship that they have even with ourselves, with the lecturers. So this is where you find that all these activities play a part in the flow-through rates and the pastoral care. All right, now I will focus on some of the comments from the students that I have interviewed. So you'll be surprised to hear some of them, what they say. But because I'm really telling you what they say, I'm not cutting off or whatever it is. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the comments from these students. Okay, what students say. Yeah, Muhammad Aris, yeah, let me just tell you his background. He's an alumni. He started off as an intern in Food Panda. Now he's a warehouse manager in Food Panda. He's doing very well, earning a good salary. And he said, my success is due to the pastoral care given by lecturers and program leaders. If not because of them, I would not have instilled these values in my career. And he remembered that he was not such a you know, good student in terms of being rather naughty, always missing classes. But then he said he knew what his lecturers were trying to tell him after he had started work and he took on his job more seriously. Linda Lee Mingswet, on the other hand, she is now doing her internship. She admitted that she did not do well in her diploma. However, in her degree, lecturers care about her grades and ask why she missed classes. And they are eager to hear us out whether we understood the assignments, etc. And that was her opinion. Brian Lim, also another alumni, yeah. Some of the lecturers, he feels that when I asked him what is pastoral care, he said, some lecturers are basically just doing their duty, yeah. And if I didn't attend class, he said they will ask why. And I will say that I'm lazy. And then they will give some advice, you know, it was being very frank about those things. Ashwin Gopal, he graduated with a very good result. He remembered how when he broke his leg once, everyone was concerned and really shows that they care. And I was asking him at how he observed the lecturers in terms of delivering pastoral care. And he said that he was close to one of the students who had ADHD, and lecturers often ask him about him through me. And I can see how they are generally helping him to adjust himself in classes and assignments, especially when they assign him for internship. And that was amazing, right? So Ashwin really felt that you know, our pastoral care was there for them to benefit from. In terms of Sharmila, all her brothers and sisters attended KDU from diploma to degree, 3 of them, all right? And why? One of the things that she said in her diploma experience, just after SPM, she's from Kampong, she said she chose datang KDU. And KDU lecturers treat me so well from scratch, and she is really grateful. So all the 3 of them started from diploma and finished off the Bachelor of Business. Kezia is the ex-student council leader. She said that program leader is responsive. If I did actually voice out certain things of a concern, they would reply immediately and they will take adequate time to come back with a response, and that is really good. And I asked you if there's anything that you'd like to suggest in terms of improvement, and she said, in terms of leadership style, they seem to be more parental, and sometimes they listen, but they have their own opinions. They won't listen to students. She's not talking about PLs, but she's talking more towards management. So that was what Kezia told me. Right, if for your information, we had quite a number of former IMT students enter our May 2022 cohort, 11 of them, yeah, and they are doing 4 subjects, yeah, MPU, OB, so business marketing and micro. And they identified, yeah, from those, Mr. Lau is always in touch with students, asking about their well-being and advising students, and they say that Miss Trace is great. So they can remember, you know, those people who really put an impact on their lives because they actually ask them more than just the lecture. Yeah. So those are what students say. Right, what about comments from academics? Anyone speaking? Is someone speaking?
Okay. That is the for 2 years or anything.
Sorry, Kin, I think you have to mute your mic, Kin. Accident. Yeah, Nora, you can continue.
Okay, I continue. So now I proceed to the academics pastoral care, where I have spoken to my colleagues, 6 of my colleagues that I've spoken to, and these are some of their opinions. Now, let me tell you that pastoral care is not just extended from lecturers, the school administrator is also an important person, and admin staff also need to be, doing their part in terms of extending pastoral care to our students. So let's take a look at some of the academic views. Okay, Mr. Cohen was our former diploma PL. He was a PL for about 9 years. He said that for final semester students, we briefed them on the importance of the degree for their future career. They only have diploma and degree. There is a gap and difference in terms of pay and promotional prospects. He said pastoral care, engagement, that's what he means. Understand the student, a bit of their background, their concerns on their future career, of facing any finance, transport or accommodation, personal, to refer to you. That's what he feels pastoral care is all about. Miss Sheila is a lecturer. She's also been a PL before, and she said she has been in classes with diploma students. She said that after class, I have some time, I will pull them out and I will talk to them individually, encourage them in terms of their performance, potential to continue to do your degree, further saying that lecturers are dedicated, they will be there for you when you have any problems. And her version of pastoral care is you take the extra mile to care for the student. When you are teaching, you are observant whether the student needs further touch from them. Observe the body language cues and further attempt to see them separately and talk to them to find out whether they are happy, gauge whether they need someone to talk to. And it has been productive. Okay. Dr. Wee Chin Lai's opinion, he said that we need to put lecturers in the last 6 months in the diploma that they are able to do effective pastoral care and win the confidence of the student. And another thing he did mention that if you want us to provide pastoral care in the KPI, student survey should also be part of the KPI. And that was what Dr. Wee felt about it. Okay, Ms. Tracy Sun is our school administrator. She's also the PL for the deep ODL and micro credentials. She said that we specifically call these students, give them a more personal touch rather than just put a main poster, which do not touch base with students. And we can gauge, are they staying back or not? At the diploma level, it's more hand-holding to really tell them, what do you really must do? There will be a certain point after 2 semesters, and that will be the time it will be in the open learning. You must start searching for yourself. So there is always a time that you handhold them. There's always a time that they need to do it on their own. And I also contacted our ex-colleague, Ms. Lu Billing. She was a former diploma PL. Now she is with MFPC. She said that you need to have the love for the product. I think that was the first words she said to me. I'm very passionate, so I share with my heart and I'm genuine in sharing. So it's very happening out there. Let the students know the importance of logistics. So she's talking about logistics specialization. Give them real life examples, successful logistic companies and why they are successful, and quote real examples. and tell them, when you stop at diploma, you cannot go anywhere. You need to continue to degree. Why you should continue? What are the benefits and values of doing in logistics, not monotonous, meet people overseas, etc., see people, get a lot of opportunity and career opportunities. So those are some of the things that she would tell the students. And last but not least, Dr. Yong Shiman, I think it's a very interesting point that he made when he was talking to me. While we are looking at the external aspect, yeah, we should not neglect the internal side of the organization. Yeah, pastoral care to our own colleagues, to support one another. Yeah, lift the motivation of staff internally. Yeah, when people are struggling, no one to help, they feel demotivated. So when we uplift the morale of the staff, we find that they are able to provide better care to the students, and it works that way. And I believe what he says has a lot of points there. All right, so those are the things that I have shared with you on what are the efforts that were done by SOB and which we will continue to do. Now, for the next section, I would like to talk about the services that have helped us to ensure that our flow-through comes in. And these are the services that allow our university to function. Yeah, I will start with the marketing front desk, the admin and bursary, ISD department, the library, student alumni center, exam department, and cafeteria. I've gone around to take some pictures, to actually show you some of the great things that they are doing. All right, so when the student come in, the first thing they do, they will talk to the marketing people on our courses. Now, believe you me, when they come back for flow through, they will still come back to the marketing people. So it is important, sometimes they don't come to the office, to the school. They go to the marketing. So the marketing is an important point for students even to come back to us about their next point of advancement. Naturally, every month or every semester, they will come to pay their fees. Yeah, so they need to know their current balance. They need to know what are the things that they are being paid for. The different fee structure, etc. So admin and bursary is something that they come to all the time. So they can choose to come to the counter or they can choose to pay online, whatever it is. The information that you provide is something that the student really appreciates, is something that is updated. Naturally, when the students start classes, they need to have a link to all their classes. Yeah, a link to the lessons, a link to have the computer or the Wi-Fi link. So, they need this very importantly. And naturally, they would want to take a look at, when they first come in, they will see the website. Yeah, and they will look at how they can inquire and how they can go through and ask questions from this search button. Yeah, all these are important for us to make sure they are well seen by the student the prospective student. And the other thing is, of course, the Oracle, yeah, where they register their subjects. Yeah, it needs to, they need to know how to do it. So during the orientation, how it's being done and how it's being taught, and it should be learned and repeated all the time. Sometimes this is where we ourselves must meet the students if they do not start on the first day. All these are part and parcel of our pastoral care. Our open learning platform, yeah, they need to know how to use it, and they need to know how to go into the learning activities and download their coursework, etc. So the ISD connection is really important for them in all these aspects to work, yeah, so that they can do their classes effectively. Next is the library. Yeah, the library, look at our beautiful library that we have with the books, and students always come here also to discuss in the learning pods. They borrow the books, and not only that, they also have online resources that they can use, yeah, to do their assignments, etc. So the library is one of the things that we can be proud of, because it is really beautiful, and each time the MQA officers come in, they are impressed with our library. Okay. Yeah, next is the Student Alumni Center. I think our university is hustle and bustle with activity. You just look at the dates for September. Every other day there is an activity. Okay, do you know about them? So you find that, if there's a lot of noise in the atrium, you know there's something going on, campus fest, etc. So this is where we have a lot of hustle and bustle, which actually the student will feel happy about it, and they will participate, and they know that they have friends and they can have fun and not only just study. Not only that, yeah, the SAC has also come up in the website. Yeah, this particular page that I managed to show, when we put in pastoral care, you find that you have all these tabs, yeah, being available for the student to venture. So these are some of the things that we can also look at, yeah, and this is the other way during MCO time that the student would be able to get in touch when they need help in any form of pastoral care. Exam department, yeah, the student will stop here to collect their certs or even to ask about their results, etc. So there is this corner here that we know how they communicate with our exam officers. So it is also one of these key services in our particular university, because this is where student is the end point, yeah, where they collect, and this is where they can feel really proud when they see their certs. So usually when my students come here to collect, I will ask them to come back and to show me their certs, and then they will feel very proud that, I'm saying, oh, such a beautiful cert, such a beautiful transcript, yeah, because it's well laid out in papers, and then they know that their money is all well spent. Okay, last but not least, our cafeteria. Yeah, before this, you find that during the MCO time, yeah, no one is there, but naturally now there's food there, and most students are coming in to eat here. And I think this is where students will get together to bond with their friends, to talk to each other. So this is also one of the services that we would probably look at to ensure that, this is where they socialize. Yeah, besides socializing online, the student will come here to have their meal. So these are the services that I'm showing to you, and I feel that the services that we have provided will be working hand in hand with us. Yeah, we don't work alone, just the academics or the school, but without them, we need them in order for our programs to function properly. And also we need all our people to know how each and every part of the services is functioning. So I hope that it has been, my sharing has been helpful to you, and that, I just wish to not only talk about what we do in the business school, but also highlight that this effort is a combination of everyone concerned. So I thank you all, and I hope that you have, if you have any comments to make or questions, you can do it after this. Thank you, Dr. Hon. Over to you.
Thank you, Nora. Thank you, Nora. Wow, I thought you would only talk about the school, but you actually able to link everything and also highlight the importance of all the rest of the support departments in how we ensure we can actually improve the flow through rate. Yeah. I also just want to highlight it from the school perspective. Yeah. Just a school perspective, there's one thing that business school has also put in, is they have put in the KPI, the flow-through rate as a KPI in all their staff KPI. So all the staff in SOB, not just academic staff, not just the head of school or head of department, all the lecturers, doesn't matter you're senior or you're just new lecturers, also the school administrator, all of them will actually have a KPI, which is the flow-through number of the students that the school will need to ensure to achieve that number together. Yeah, so that's one thing that I would like to highlight. The reason why business school is asked to do this particular session is generally when we talk about flow-through rate, especially from diploma to degree, we are normally hitting about 30%. That means 30% of your diploma student, which is an end products. Yeah, means that they can actually graduate and go out and get a job. So normally from the diploma level to degree, we only averagely get about 30% as a flow-through rate from diploma to degree. But for business school, they have been successfully getting about 50% of their students actually flow through. This improve in terms of flow-through rate, it doesn't happen overnight. It actually happened through many efforts that the school has put in. As what Nora has mentioned just now, The first one is actually KPI setting. Everyone will have the KPI with them. Second is they actually make sure the star lecturers are being put in the last 2 semesters of diploma to enhance student experience and also provide some career advice. Third one is they provide a very structured flow-through talks. Yeah. At the end, before the semester end, they will always do a structured flow-through talk, followed by individual counseling. And during the individual counseling, they will actually put in their program leaders as well as there's some star lecturers that will be the one that tell students, and they don't just tell them about the degree programs. What they are telling the student is the difference between whether you are diploma graduates or a degree graduates. Yeah, so they ensure that students understand why do they need to have the degree instead of stop at diploma, and how the degree will make a difference in their life. And the fourth things that they have done quite successfully is they make good use of the semester town hall. Instead of using the town hall just to tell students the rules and regulations, what are they supposed to expect for the next semester, they make sure that they actually get some external speakers into the town hall. So the external speakers can be a very successful degree alumni, can be a external industry player. But what is going on during this town hall is because the town hall is attended by all students. So you will have students that is diploma level, you have students at degree level that will attend. So the whole idea is we want to open up the eyes of the diploma student that, what is the opportunity in front of you if you continue to do a degree. So that is also a very important thing that the SOB has put in place. Last but not least, Nora did not highlight it. She only put in the different departments that play a role in ensuring the flow-through rate. But the key behind is how the academic work closely with the support department in supporting student life, their day-to-day life. Yeah, I think that is very important because sometimes we will always think that, oh, exam department is supposed to do their things. We academic staff are supposed to do their things. But students being students, when they don't know what to do, they might jump to the academic department or they might just jump to the support department. So if there's no communications, the student experience will be a gap. Yeah, so the communications that build between the school and the support department to make sure everybody understand we all play the role is also another key success. Why the flow-through rate for business school has been actually growing year after year. Yeah. So I'm going to stop here because I think it'll be good if we open some time for people to ask questions. And yeah, so Nora will be here. And anyone, if you have any questions, you can actually ask us or anything to discuss. Thank you. Hi, Jennifer. Jennifer, you are muted, Jennifer.
I'm sorry, I say I came in late because didn't know how to do the technology without my notebook today. Thank you very much, Nora, for sharing, how you do flow through to increase flow through rate in the School of Business. It's an amazing talk. Thank you. I wish to make a comment, and it's very important flow through, and I'm very glad that Prof. Hon include flow through rate as one of the sessions within this series. I want to tell you that in May 2018, was that 4 years ago? Yeah. May 2018, we had a retreat in Australia, in UOW. And actually in the UOWGE board chairman's house, because he owns a winery, wine production, and then he has visitors and they do very Michelin type meals anyway. So we had a retreat there. And the retreat covered many things as usual, but one of the things that covered under an important item was whether to go ahead with the Malaysian acquisition. And that was in 2018 May. I remember the ex-Vice Chancellor, Professor Paul Wellings, during his talk, all these people need to talk. During his talk, he actually focused quite a bit on the Malaysian acquisition. And he said, he showed a presentation and he said his friends investing in Malaysia, and i.e. that is Reading University, University of Hull, Nottingham, all these UK universities, and Newcastle, they didn't have a good, many of them didn't have a good experience and they're losing money. And he asked the question, why then should we go ahead with the Malaysian acquisition? That was in May 2018. And Marisa was supposed to answer the question, because she is the group CEO. And Marisa directed me to answer the question all of a sudden. So I say, I'm not 100% sure, but I think most of Newcastle focus on medical degree, right? And Nottingham, I think they focus a lot on undergrad and postgrad, and University of Hull, Reading as well. And I say this is different, okay? This is not only we are, first of all, it's not university. We were intent to, we were talking about purchasing. It's university colleges, and that they offer from foundation diploma to PhD, and they have a college. And I think it's very important that they have the programs below the bachelor level. That was my answer. And I said, I don't know what percentage is the mix of the program, but I feel that it's a very substantial number. And later on, when I came in as CEO, I knew that it's a substantial number. And I think that is very important because in my experience in doing all this financial management in universities, you need to have pathway programs in order to provide students for your own product at undergraduate and postgraduate level. It's not a smart thing to just focus on, the worst thing is to focus just on postgraduate. So I say you can check all the figures through diligence. So anyway, I said that. And I think because these people are all bosses, they were not in the operation. I think my answer to them is, oh, yeah, you guarantee students, So then when I came in 2019, I think the flow-through rate was close to, of the total new students enrolled every year. The flow-through rate in 2019, if I remember correctly, if David is here, is very close to 40%. And then it drops to in 2021 because of the COVID, and it dropped to in 2021. The flow through as a percentage of new students dropped to 30%, from 40 dropped to 30. And then this year, up to last week, the flow-through students as a percentage of total new students is only 21%. So we are not doing well in nowadays, mainly, especially in 2022, is due to the low flow-through rate. So it's very good to hear from you, Nora, that all the efforts about setting KPI to the staff, getting the staff lecturers to handle the last 2 years, and then you have flow through talk, and then also individual counseling, semester town hall, and then how you work with the different departments and so on. But I would like to have a session, Prof. Hon, showing the flow-through rates of all the schools. For example, SOB, you have how many foundation diploma programs? Each one has different flow-through rate for SOB. and for the School of Communication, or for the School of Culinary Arts, and all these schools, all these individual programs, it would be good to tabulate from 2019 is the normal year, and then 2020 already abnormal, 2021. So the objective is to go back to 2019. I can tell you in Australia now, in University of Wollongong, what they're trying to do is they all set the target for 2023, next year, going to be the same as 2019. Because they believe that, it's already, that is an aspiration, we should go back to normal. So, Hon, there should be a session, see how you organize it, to show all the foundation diploma programs, the flow-through rate from 2019 to 2022. Now we understand that certain programs, for example, culinary arts, I don't expect the flow-through rate to be as high as, say, a diploma program in business. Because normally after the certificate of foundation program, they go to work. Certain programs are more for work. Certain programs are more meant to be pathway for undergraduate. But what I think is important is we should chase the same percentage as we achieved in 2019. So if we can see that presentation, then for example, for some programs, the flow-through rate percentage, we are talking about percentage, so it's nothing to do with new students, falling of new student percentage. If you can show the percentage, that means it causes an alarm. If the flow-through rate for a particular program falls, always falling. So much more effort should be focused on that. So what I'm trying to do is for 2023, if Mitch is here, and Prof. Hon is doing the numbers, and the finance people are doing the numbers. We are now doing the numbers, trying to fix the 2023 budgets. So what is the percentage for flow-through? What is the percentage for new students? Okay. So this year is only up to now is only 21% flow through. We have to take account of the last few years, the drop in enrollment. But it was so wonderful to hear that in 2019 the flow through rate was about 40%, and that means my answer to the board in 2018 was right. They said, how come Reading are losing money lah? University House, Newcastle, only Nottingham is doing well. All the UK universities. Because they did not focus on the bottom programs, it's very important. So if I can ask for one more session to show that, but I think, Nora, you have covered all the efforts to ensure a good flow through. But I think it's worthwhile to see the individual program statistics. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, and it's true that because of the drop in new student enrollment, so it has actually affected the flow-through rate in the last 2 years. Yeah, but what Jennifer is trying to ask is for individual program, if you have 10 students enroll, you have at least 5 students do flow-through, then your flow-through rate are still maintained as 50%. So that is the efforts that the school and other departments can help us to maintain the flow-through rate. Yeah, so we'll definitely do a tabulations. I will need the help from all the school, but I will guide to get the tabulations for that.
Yeah. I also want to share in Hong Kong, there is a program called Diploma in General Studies, where they have about, every year, it's a 1-year program, where they have about 250 intake per year. And the flow-through rate for that program is 80%, 80 to 88%, depending which year. But all of a sudden, last year, only 50%, And therefore, Hong Kong was very much affected. So it's very important to protect flow through, to make discussion, to, you know, to work together, the various departments. I think, Nora, you're right. You know, even the exams department, the student experience when they go to the cafeteria, the exams department, the bursary, the marketing, how they were treated, were they helped by our staff, you know? So a lot of the times I also feel whether I want to buy something or not, I want to see who is the ones, the person taking care of me. You know, it's not about so much about brand. It's about your feeling, you know, that you're confident to buy that thing. I feel comfortable, you know. So I think that's what I heard, you know, when you show the slide on what the alumni said about us. Okay, thank you.
Anyone got any questions for Nora? I would like to open for questions. Nobody have questions. So Nora, I have a questions for you. So you have talked about what SOB do, and because under SOB you only have diplomas, yeah, diplomas that you take care of your diploma student flowing through to degree. But currently our foundation programs, because we have one foundation program that students fit into different programs, yeah. So can you tell us a bit more how you actually, because the foundation program is under a different school, so it's not under business school. How do you work with the different school to ensure for the foundation program, you will also have a high flow through rate to your business program?
So far, we have been working together with Wai Xiong, who's a program leader over the other side. She will invite our program leaders to speak. They have their flow through talk also. So we will have a session, which we give one to business and one for accounting. Yeah, and then after that, she will forward to us because after that, the individual counseling, that part of it, we leave it to them. You know, we didn't go forward to get the list. But we will know when the student already fill in the change of program form. By that, they already agree to come into our program. So far, that's how we do it. So we take the cue from the other side. To attend the flow through talk.
I see. Thanks, Nora. So I think Wai Xiong is not on the line. Maybe I or Julian, can you talk a little bit how you work with other schools to ensure the flow through rate for the foundation programs can also be high or even higher than diploma programs, and to show some interdepartmental efforts in ensuring flow through?
I knew you're gonna call my name one. That's why I purposely pay attention the last 5 minutes, or else I don't pay attention already. Oh, sorry, Miss Jennifer is here. I pay attention the whole session. Trust me. You can ask me any questions I can answer. Well, I suppose one of the in foundation, it's a bit easier for us because historically, foundation programs has always had a higher flow through, and the reason this is my assumption. The reason being is because foundation is only 1 year. So 1 year usually they haven't gone through the whole process. It's like it's a very friendly, very exploratory environment. For them to. It's not like a diploma where it's a lot of projects and everything, but this is more like very fun environment for them. So when they go through the foundation, right, automatically their whole student experience is very geared towards personal relationship with the lecturer. So this is something that we've learned over the past few years lah. We actually put the young and fun types of lecturers for foundation. This is to get the students that they go, wow, okay, this foundation, this university is very approachable. The lecturers are all very relatable to us. Yeah, so it's by nature, I think foundation allows us the higher flow through. But of course, the other thing is from the very start when they come into foundation, we want to have that very personal relationship with them. It's not so much about, at the end of the course of studies, but the entire duration of studies in foundation, we already, give them an avenue to complain, we give them an avenue to discuss, we give them an avenue to come together, and of course, at the end of the day, we will always have that last session foundation briefing. So for foundation, so Wai Xiong acts as an auntie of sorts, like the mother of the course, and she will talk to them. She will ask them, and she will bring in the respective lecturers as well. We used to have sessions where we bring in speakers to talk about the various components of where they want to go. So that is our nature of collaboration with the other schools. Of course, like for business one, from a very, very early start, the students are already exposed to the foundation. I mean, the business school lectures, so we select lectures which can make an impact on them, lah. And it's very easy to convince them after that. So most of the students that don't flow through to foundation, usually it's because of other reasons. Number one, it could be mainly, they don't flow through the degree, it's because of other reasons. It could be, number one, circumstantial, or number two, very, very, very rarely, it's a course that they decide to just change halfway. So I hope that I managed to bring you all in one circle and not answer the question at the same time answer your question.
Thank you.
You want me
maybe
to
Julian,
add on?
yeah.
Yes, Julian.
Yes, Julian, please.
Yeah, so.
Okay, so for foundation, when the students come in, to add on to what Ike has just said, the reason why many of the students that don't flow through, the reasons will range quite a bit. One of it will usually be we don't offer the courses in undergraduate that they want. Number two, they see UW as a platform to go into another university, usually because maybe we offered very good foundation rates, to tuition rates and fees and so on. So they will usually spend their pre-U or their foundation year here before going. But in also adding on to Ike, because we have quite a bit of activities throughout the year, movie nights, just sessions that are not very academically based. There is, this is not me talking about bad about other schools lah, but it's more about it's only us that is involved in these events. The students don't actually see lecturers from the undergraduate coming in, sort of like introduce themselves only until their semester 3, which is their final year, whereby they do the flow through talk, and then the lecturers will come in, the program leaders will come in, and they talk about the programs and so on. So maybe by having a more, if the other schools will be able to come in during all these events and not show face lah, just like talk to the students a little bit and so on, they would be a little bit more happy to go on to their undergraduate programs.
Thank you, Julian.
That's what I want to say.
Thank you, Julian. I think you have highlighted important points. So please, other schools that want students from the foundation arts and technology, and also foundation in arts in KL side, and also maybe KL, Penang heads also can fight with the KL heads for the students, is to participate in the events that is organized by Ike School for the foundation students. Yeah. So.
Hon, I have a comment.
Yeah.
Nowadays, because of the opening up of the Malaysian border, after the COVID years, we are now doing some activities in student mobility from Vietnam.
Yep.
But I heard that we will do more for countries like Thailand and Japan as well, which you have done during pre-COVID years. So should we have another session on how we do the student experience for the, these students coming for 1-2 weeks only, I don't know, 3 weeks.
Yeah, normally about 2 to 3 weeks, depends on the institution.
But this, we are going to, as a strategy, we are going to grow these mobility programs as part of the business. So it's very worthwhile to talk about how we do it, and then how to perhaps have us, during their stay here. This is for Michelle. During their stay here, maybe to get to know the full-time students, or start selling the full-time programs to them, so that they can become potential international students.
Sure.
It's coming in. I know that at the end of the year, there will be 340 from Vietnam in September, and maybe December. BK, are you here? BK?
I'm here.
So September 340, I know, but will there be another group in December?
Yeah, apparently, I think some of the students has withdrawn. So we have 196 for Penang and 120 for UG, Yeah.
196. This is for September.
194, 196, something like that. This is the latest update.
It's still very good number. We are still talking about 320.
Yes. December we'll have
194 for Penang and 120 for KL.
Yes, this is the final numbers here. And
And
we have another group. I think will be another group again, will be coming in again.
Yeah. So this is from Vietnam, organized by Michelle. And is Mitch here? Mitch, are you here? Mitch is not here. Okay. So Hon, can you, I don't know how you organize this in Selangor, but I know how they organize this in Penang. So can you ensure that this is one of the focus? I think it's wonderful to have mobility students. First, it's a generation of income. And second, these are all your potential markets, Instead of paying 100,000 to do the international fairs, you face the students. These are real students. And you should sell your full-time program to them. Hopefully, they will come back.
But this PT student, the groups which are coming soon, we actually have an agreement with the FPT University. We are not supposed to persuade their student to study with us. We are not supposed to do that. Once we have some student actually wanted to stay behind to study with us, but we have to say no to them, ask them to go back.
Say no?
Yeah, because that is our agreement. That's why they keep on sending to us.
So restrictive.
Yeah.
But this is FPT, but we have
we have some others as well.
And on the Japan and Thailand that you used to have, can you tell me?
We
Japan.
Yeah, we have Japan. But we actually do enhance their experience. They actually study for the Japan students. They will study in the same class as some of our students. And along the way, we also have student buddies. So we'll always give them student buddies during their stay in Malaysia with us. Yeah. But unfortunately,
what kind of numbers are you talking about? 2019. I think Japan students.
We're talking about it's every time when they come a group of 50 students, and they are different time. Yeah. So, but a lot of them, when they come at the university levels, they are not coming they will not change university. Yeah. They're going to complete in their university, but the opportunities will always be there when we talk about postgraduate programs. Yeah. So we actually do some of those things. We can put it as one of the topics.
It's a good marketing. When they go back to their own country, they can talk about your university to their friends, to their brothers, sisters. It's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
So can you include that
okay.
as an experience session? Yeah,
Sure.
thank you.
Yeah, for the topic will be next year because this year topics are online up. But yes, I note that we will do one of the sections on that. Okay. Anyone else got?
I'm
Dr.
trying to
Chong?
relate the Nora section. It's an excellent section. I think the School of Business, I think, have done a excellent job in having this pastoral care program. It is a very structured program. It shows a very good example. I think it's a role model to the rest of the school as well. So hope that the rest of the school can follow the SOB's example and come up with a structured program that, you know, and do it every semester. I believe that we have to do it not only to the last 2 semester students, but also we have to start it from semester 1. I think that is important because when you do it to the last 2 semester students, they know our intention. They know that we want them to flow through. So I think the whole structure is applicable to all the, you know, and applied it to all the semester. That's one thing. The second thing is one try to relate it to the flow through rate that mentioned by Jennifer. I think flow through rate is related to the pastoral care program that we have, right? And there's a drop of flow through rate from the 2019 until now. It means that maybe we have to re-examine the structure that we have, the program that we have, to see how we can improve it. To improve it further, see whether we can improve the flow through rate or not. But the whole structure, for me, I look at that, it is a very good one, and it is very important. We have to continue to uphold it because pastoral care is actually if we provide a good pastoral care, it is a foundation upon which the learning can take place. Students can learn because I learned it from my children. When I talk to the school, when during the school days, I found that when I talk to the teacher, the teacher has a good relationship with them, their results suddenly change, become very good. So I found that we provide a good pastoral care. It is a foundation upon which learning of students can take place. Okay. And second one, because not only we give a support to the flow, increase the flow through rate, but also it facilitate the development of the social development, emotional development, the self-esteem of the student, which is very important. That this you will help to reduce the suicidal cases of the nation as well. Okay. So you see that when I was a student, when I enrolled with the university, definitely we look forward to finish a whole program with the university. Sometimes when I look at our students here, I really can't understand that why they enroll in the foundation or diploma, and then later they can change to other universities. Sometimes I ask myself, why they do that? Isn't it? It is easier to continue your study here. You don't have to put in another application again. You don't have to go to a lot of processes again, and you have all the teachers here, all the lecturers here you're familiar with, isn't it? You can approach anyone anytime you like. But why the student change their mind? And this is very crucial. This is very important. We have to ask ourselves, why they change their mind? Why they want to apply to a different university, to a strange place, and to continue their study? Why? Is it easy to continue here? Correct? So this is something that I think we have to always ask ourselves, why this thing happened? So I believe that we have to start from semester 1 and continue to build a good relationship with them. People say when you're married to a person, when you know a person too much, it's either you continue to accept a person or either you divorce a person. Why you accept a person is because you have a feeling, you have an emotional attachment with the student. Same thing applies to the student. When come to us, married to us, they will stay with us.
You are an expert in marriage.
Huh?
You are an expert in marriage.
No, if we really show good rapport, have a good relationship with them, they will stay with us even though they see our weaknesses. Is that true? Correct. Yeah. So this pastoral program is very good. So I hope that the program you can share with other schools as well. If in case some of the school heads are not here, share with them and maybe look into the structure, see how we can improve it so that we can increase the flow through rate. Excellent. Well done, Nora. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Chong. There's no more questions. I would like to thank Nora for doing these sessions and give us a lot of useful information. All the videos for all these sessions all the sessions are recorded. So for those who cannot be here for these sessions, you can definitely view the recording. Hazim and TLC Gabriel side will be able to share the recording with you. So I just want to do a bit of advertisement for the next sessions, 2 weeks down the road on the 15th September, 2 o'clock. We will have the 4th sessions, and the title will be Working with the Communities, Developing to Becoming a Holistic Individual. And these sessions will be delivered by Dr. Tan Li Hui from Penang. Yeah. So looking forward to see and meet all of you again in 2 weeks' time. And thank you very much. I hope you enjoy the sessions. Thank you, Nora.